Hello, my dear students. Welcome to this class in this week. Today is November the 29th. And obviously, this is a recorded class for 10 Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. What is the purpose of this? Because as teachers, the English teachers are obviously mandated to receive a workshop, some kind of seminars through this week on Monday and Tuesday. And obviously, you need to have your class in advance so you can practice with the PowerPoint template that you are going to work in the Classwork and also to the Richmond Learning Platform, okay? Well, I need that you open your student book, please. I need that you open your student book and we're going to start. Remember that the last class we were talking about the unit number 4. We started about going places. And obviously you were working about the vocabulary and some special verbs. We are on page 41. Please, the topic 12 here, it's really important for me because it was pending for the last time. Remember that here we are using journeys. We are talking about some specific vocabulary about journeys. When you travel a specific place for that in this case. When you are talking, and obviously when you are definitely talking about this, you are going to use some words that will identify the vocabulary. The first one that says by, when you describe how you travel. And the other when you use on, when you say where you are. What are some of the examples that you're going to say? For example, I usually go to a school by train. You are specifying the way, how, or what is the mechanism that you use to do in this case. We travel to Greece by ferry. Also, in this example, you are specifying what is the mean of transportation that you are using. That is what you are using by. In the other example, you are going to say the following, and you are going to use on. On. Hi, I'm on the bus. You are specifying the where, the place, exactly the place where you are. We were on the train at 6 o'clock, on the train. You are indicating the person that you are talking about, the specific place that you are located in that time. So those are the two different forms. Those are the two different forms that you are going to use to talk about this, okay? Remember, by, when you describe by train, by car, by bus, by ferry, on the bus, on the specific, being so specific about what specifically you are saying at the moment, okay? With this information, you are going to work into your student book, okay? You are going to work the next example or the next activity in the student book. Attention. In this exercise, you have the exercise 13, page 41. In this exercise, you have the topic 13. Attention, what is the activity that you are going to do? How can you travel to the places below? Here, you are going to identify some places: Brazil, school, a desert island, your country's capital, for example, Quito, if you want to say, our country's capital is Quito, definitely. But if you prefer to say to Manta, to Cuenca, to Ambato, is your decision. The North Pole. You have a central question. Look at example number 1. How can you travel to? How can you travel to? And here we say the first one that says Brazil, okay? And we have the number 1 that says Brazil. That's the reason that you have Brazil. You are working with the example here. Did you see? How can you travel to Brazil? And what is the answer? You can go by, and you are going to decide, in this case, what is the mean of transportation that you are going to identify. And you can go by, and you are going to give some options. Remember, you are going to make the question and you are going to make the answer. What information you are going to use to do this? Remember, you are going to have number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You are going to make 5 questions with these prompts, and you are going to give 5 answers, questions and answers. Remember, the questions and also the answers using the information that you have here, okay? Using the information that you have here. Where Where you are going to work this? Where you are going to work this? In the PowerPoint presentation. ¿Dónde va a hacer estas preguntas? ¿Y dónde va a plantear estas respuestas? Utilizando by and on. ¿Dónde las va a realizar? En la presentación de PowerPoint Classwork que normalmente trabajamos todas las semanas. Usted tiene el enlace. Usted tiene el enlace de la presentación en línea que siempre trabajamos. If you go to this presentation, if you go to this online presentation, for alpha, in this case, for example, you are going to have here, make the 5 questions using, and here you are going to use, okay, the 5 questions. That is the topic number 1 that you are going to select. For the alpha, here you are going to find them, and obviously you can find alpha. For Bravo, also is exactly the same exercise, and for Charlie is exactly the same exercise. Remember that you are going to select a page, you're going to write your name, and obviously you will start working on that, okay? You can use 2, 1, 2, or 3, and you have to respect that. Okay, in EducaLink, I am going to send also, if you forgot the link of this PowerPoint, please don't worry about them, because in EducaLink you're going to receive, and also I am going to send a texting message to the tutor, so he can help us or she can help us about this, okay? That is the task number 1 in this PowerPoint. Activity number 2. Now we continue with the student book, okay? Now we go to page 42, and we are going to focus specifically into the grammar reference. Remember that we are working the grammar reference with the past simple using I was or were. You have here the chart that you are going to use. Here you have the chart that you are going to use. Attention, okay? I need that you pay attention.
We use the past simple to talk about finished actions and situations in the past. We can use it to talk about short actions. When I finished school, I went to visit my grandma. She made me a cup of tea and we chatted for a bit. Then I left. We can also use the past simple to talk about longer actions and situations. We sat on the beach all afternoon. When I was a child, I lived in Toronto for 11 years. When we say exactly when something happened, we usually use the past simple. We often use the following past time expressions. In plus years, months. I was born in 2000. He bought a new car in April. On plus days. I had an exam on Thursday. On Monday, we went swimming after school. At plus times, 10 a.m., etc. Midday, midnight. I woke up at 3 a.m. My friends and I met at midday. Last plus night, week, weekend, month, year. We went on holiday to Greece last year. We had a party last weekend. Yesterday plus morning, afternoon, evening. I watched a really good film yesterday evening. I tidied my room yesterday morning. Any period of time plus ago. We moved house 4 months ago. 2 years ago, my baby sister was born. The past simple form of be is was, were. We don't use did, didn't to form questions and negatives. Questions was, were. Was I at home? Were you at home? Was he at home? Was she at home? Were we at home? Were they at home? Negatives wasn't, weren't. I wasn't at home. You weren't at home. He wasn't at home. She wasn't at home. We weren't at home. They weren't at home.
Okay, here you have the grammar reference that you have in a full edition. And obviously you are going to use. Remember, when you talk about the past simple, remember, when you talk about the past simple, you talk about a finished action, a situation in the past. Remember that you have regular verbs finished in ed or irregular verbs, okay? And also we have the past simple with the form of the verb to be using was and using were. Remember, we have the number one using regular verbs. The number two using irregular forms. And the number three using the verb to be. Okay? So remember that you are going to use affirmative or negative. You are using the verb to be, you say wasn't or weren't. If you are using, in this case, the past simple with other verbs, you are going to use did or didn't. When we have the expressions, remember that we have some past time expressions in the past simple form. When you say last night, last week, last year, yesterday, yesterday morning, yesterday evening, you say in 2009 is an example, 2008, for example, in April, on Monday. Those are expressions that represent the simple past tense. Those expressions represent the simple past tense, okay? With this information that you are going to have the opportunity to remember because you practice this in the school also, and also the last year, and now we are going to work with the next activity. We have the activity number 1, page 42. Page 42, activity number 1, okay? Read, in this case you say, read and complete the postcard with the correct past simple of the verb to be. Remember, you are going to use the past simple of the verb to be, in this case, was or were, wasn't or weren't. Here you have the postcard that you are going to form in this case. Please, right now, I need that you read the information quickly, read the information and complete the spaces. Read this postcard and complete now. Was, were, wasn't, or weren't. 2 minutes for the activity. Now, quickly. Let's do it, let's do it. Complete now, in your student book. Okay, did you finish? Now check your answers. Attention. Hi, Amelia. I'm in Australia with my brother Harry. Last week, past simple, we were near Alice Springs on a camel trek. Number 2, the water hot and sunny was, because we're talking about the weather. But Harry, happy, wasn't. Why wasn't? Because we said about the he, and remember that the he, we said was or wasn't. In this case, the sentence is in negative. Number 4, there lots of really big ants inside our tent. What is the next question to this and the answer? There were. Why were? Because you're talking about the ants in plural. And one night there, a spider in Harry's sleeping bag. What is the next answer? Was, because you're talking about the spider. Number 6, and there any signal for his mobile, so he couldn't call his girlfriend. What is the next answer for this? And you said, for example, wasn't, okay, because you're talking about the signal. Number 7, how your birthday party is a question. Look at this. This is a question. How was, because you're talking about the party. Number 8, there are many people. Another question. And what is the next question? Where? Why where? Because you are talking about people that is in plural. Okay? Please correct the errors in your student book and complete quickly, quickly. Let's do it, quickly, complete. Complete the information. Copy in your books, copy. Okay? Quickly, quickly, copy the information in your books. 1, 2, and 3, okay? Well, now we continue with the next exercise, activity number 2, page 42, activity number 2. What you are going to do in this case? This is a block. In this block, you are going to read, and in the spaces, you are going to complete using these verbs. Okay, you are going to use one of the verbs in the box, but you are going to use the simple past tense form. Please, right now, read the block and sentences, and I need that you write the answers quickly. 2 minutes for the activity. Now, quickly, quickly, let's do it. Quickly, quickly, complete, read and complete. Use the verbs in past forms. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Are you ready? Did you finish? Excellent. Okay, now you are going to verify the answers. Look at the number 1, started. Number 2, decided. Regular verb, decided, because finish in ed, decided. Number 3, cooked. Cooked, regular verb, finish in ed is a regular verb. Number 4, walked. Walked, regular verb, finish in ed. Number 5, dropped, regular verb, finish in ed. Watched, ending in ed. And the number 7, played. Please correct the errors in your student book. Quickly, quickly. Correct the errors in your student book. Quickly. Correct or complete the information. Remember, those are regular verbs. What are the regular verbs? The verbs that end or finish in ed. Okay, those are the regular verbs. Okay. Okay, so right now we continue with the next exercise, and we say the exercise number 4. Page 42, exercise number 4. Here you have some verbs. In the last exercise, we were talking about the regular verbs. Now we are going to talk about the irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. What is the difference? That in the irregular verbs, modifies or changes completely is a completely change between the infinitive and the form of the simple past. You are going to have the verbs in the basic form, and when you form the simple past tense, it's completely the difference. I need that now you complete, read the verbs, and obviously complete with the simple past tense of these irregular verbs. Please remember, if you want to use the Google, open a Google tab, take a Google tab, and you can Google the information if you don't remember, okay? But remember, try to refresh your mind. Quickly, 2 minutes and complete the activity right now. Quickly, Complete the activity. Complete the activity in your student book. Complete the activity in your student book. Quickly, quickly, let's do it. Okay, did you finish? Excellent. Now we go. Remember the number 1, see, so. Number 2, go, went. Number 3, get, got. Number 4, live, left. Number 5, write, wrote. Number 6, meet, met. Number 7, send, sent. Number 8, eat, ate. Number 9, read, read. Pay attention to the pronunciation. Very similar in the writing. In the present simple, you say read. In the past simple, you say read. Number 10, where, were. 11, give, gave. Number 12, put, put. Attention to the number 12, exception number 2, put, infinitive, put in the past, exactly the same. 13, drive, drove. 14, take, took. 15, buy, bought. Please correct the errors quickly. Correct the errors in your student book quickly. Correct the errors in your student book. Complete the information. Okay? Quickly, quickly, let's do it. Complete in your book. Correct the errors in your book. Okay? Excellent. So we are going to have the next activity. You are going to have a listening section. Okay, you are going to have a listening section. Listen. Copy in the table. You are going to copy here in the table. And you are going to listen and you are going to tick. What is to tick? This is to tick. Tick, tick. You are going to tick in the spaces that you consider convenient. You are going to listen and you are going to tick the things that Leah, Oscar, and Melanie did on Sunday. You are going to tick, remember, okay? I need that you listen and tick what is the correct information. Attention.
Hi, Leah.
Oh, hi, Melanie.
How was your weekend? Did you do anything interesting?
Let me think. Well, I got up late on Saturday. About 12 o'clock, actually.
Wow, that was late.
Then I met my friends in the park. That was cool. It was a nice day, so we just sat around under the trees. Then, in the evening, my family went out for dinner in a Turkish restaurant. It was good. And then, oh yeah, we went back home and we watched a DVD. It wasn't very good. In fact, I fell asleep.
How about you, Oscar? What did you do on Saturday?
I listened to music in bed all morning. I listened to music every day, so that was normal. And then I played football for the school team, and we won 2-1. After that, I saw some friends in town. We met outside the library, and then we went shopping. I bought a new pair of trainers. And in the evening, I did some homework, and then I watched videos of my favourite bands online. How about you anyway, Melanie?
Me? Well, on Saturday, I went shopping in the morning with my sister, Louise. She wanted to buy some clothes for her holiday, but she didn't like anything. What else? I listened to music on my MP3. All my favourite music's on there. And then, we met some friends for lunch in a pizzeria. In the evening, I watched a DVD with my sister. It was a film called Hugo. Do you know it?
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. It was nice.
Okay, so here you have the opportunity to listen. And obviously, I am going to show you the transcription of the audio so you can have an idea about it, okay? Pay attention. And here you have the transcription of the audio so you can have a complete overview of the audio and so you can have the information according to this. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You selected the answers. Remember, you have to tick the correct answers. Tick. Remember that you have to tick. Remember that you have to tick the correct answers in the chat. Remember that you are going to tick the correct answers, okay? So right now we are going to start, okay? In this column we said Dia, Oscar, and Melanie. What were the activities that they mentioned? Get up, listen to music, meet friends, eat in a restaurant, do a sport, go shopping, watch a DVD. As you can see, these verbs are not in past simple, but this is a reference about the activities. I need that you pay attention. Correct your errors, please. Correct your errors, please, okay? Those are the activities, or those were the activities that these friends were debating or discussing about in the audio, okay? Correct the errors in your student book. Correct the errors in your student book, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Very good, okay? Well, so now we are going to finish this part of the activity, and now we are going to have some expressions. Remember that we can identify some expressions, but Miss Dila, how I identified when to use the present simple or when to use the simple past tense? Remember, easy, when you are reading or when you are writing, the expressions of time or the time expressions are the clue that will help to you in this case. Remember that in the first part of the grammar presentation, you have about these options. And here we have attention to the answers, okay? Remember, when you said a week ago, remember when you are saying ago is an expression properly for the simple past tense. Last night, last day, last month, an expression properly for the past form. On and the month, for example. On and the day. Yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, for example. You have the two options. Simple past expressions. 3 hours ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago. At 1:30 this morning. Remember, this morning, you are combining these expressions. Please complete in your books. Complete in your books the time expressions that we frequently use in the simple past tense forms, okay? Let's do it. Complete the information in your student book, okay? Quickly, let's do it. Hurry up. Okay. Ready? Completed? With this information, you are going to do the second classwork activity in the PPT online for classwork. Using these expressions, you are going to do the activity number 9. The activity number 8, sorry. Activity number 8 here, write sentences. Activity number 8. What specifically you are going to do? You are going to write 9 sentences about the last time you do these things. Here you have an example. Attention. I sent a text message. It's working with the number 1. Did you see the example number 1? I sent. Here is in present simple, and here you are using the past simple. I sent a text message about 20 minutes ago. You are using the expressions. Remember, you are going to make the sentences. You are going to use the past simple and the past time expressions. You have in total, how many sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? Remember that you are going to work this exercise where? Where you are going to work this exercise? This is the activity number 2, simple past form, 9 sentences using the past simple and the time expressions, okay? Here you have the activity number 2 for Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie in the presentation, okay? In the presentation. We continue. Now we go to the listening section activity, page 43. Page 43. Understand a teenager talking about a journey. In this case, we are going to have the listening activity. In this case, you have the listening activity. A nightmare journey. I need that you look at this picture. I need that you look at this picture, and I need that you answer these 2 questions. What's happening in the photos? What do you think connects them? What you are going to do? You are going to answer these questions. You are going to answer these questions using the photos, using these photos, okay? Please, that is the task that you are going to complete. You are going to complete, attention, what exactly you are going to do. You are going to complete the answers in your student book, okay? This information you are going to complete here in the student book, not in the PowerPoint template. This part of the listening you are going to complete in the student book. Remember, you are going to answer these 2 questions according to what you can observe in the picture, okay? Ready? Very good. Number 2. Activity number 2. Listen to the first part of Poppy's story and select the correct answers. You are going to listen Poppy's stories, attention. You are going to listen Poppy's story and select the correct answers. You are going to listen and you are going to circle the correct answers. Attention, please. 1, 2, and 3.
A few years ago, I was on holiday in the Atlas Mountains in Tunisia. You know, in North Africa.
Wow, was it hot?
Yeah, it was only May, but it was incredibly hot.
Who were you with?
My parents and Leo, my brother. We were there for 10 days. It was great, but we had a terrible journey home.
Really? Why was it so bad?
Well, we were on a coach in the mountains. We were on our way to Tunis. It was Saturday, and our flight was the next day. The journey was very hot and a bit boring. But then I got a text message. It was from my best friend, Alicia, in London. She said there was a huge volcano in Iceland. There were clouds of ash in the air, and there were lots of flights cancelled all over Europe because it was dangerous for planes. I told my parents, but they didn't believe me. They thought it was a joke. But then my brother got a message too. His friends said exactly the same thing.
Okay, you listen the audio. You can repeat the video. You can play it again in the video. Now, I need that you select the correct answer. Please select the correct answer, okay? Okay, ready? You are going to do this at home in your student book, okay? Ready? So we continue with the next activity. So we have the activity number 3. Activity number 3. Listen to the rest of Poppy's story and answer the questions. Listen to the rest of Poppy's story and answer the questions. Okay, you are going to listen again and you are going to answer these 5 questions. 1, 2, and 3.
So what did you do?
Well, we stayed in a hotel in Tunis that night. But we got up really early the next morning and took a taxi to the airport.
And were there any flights?
No, it was chaos. There were so many people, so my parents decided to get a boat to Italy. We went by bus to the port in Tunis, and my parents bought tickets for Livorno. The ship sailed at night. We couldn't get a cabin, so we slept on really uncomfortable chairs in the cafe. It was awful. We arrived in Italy the next day, and guess what? We couldn't get on a train because they were all full. But after about 5 hours, we got on a train to Paris. We only had 2 seats, so my brother and I stood in the corridor. And then from Paris, we got another train to London. And finally, we went home by taxi. You know, the flight from London to Tunis takes about 3 hours, but our journey took over 60 hours.
You poor thing.
Okay, you have the part number 2 of the conversation, and you are going to answer the 5 questions in your book. Okay, answer the questions. Ready? Answer the questions. Remember, the listening section, you are going to listen again the audio. You can play again the video. You can use the video and return, and you listen again. And you are going to answer in the part number 1, the questions. In the part number 2, you are going to select the better answers. And in the number 3, you are going to answer the questions. Remember, what are the expressions that we are referring in this part? Attention, listen. What are the expressions that you are using here?
1,
We were there for 10 days. It was great. But we had a terrible journey home.
really? Why was it so bad? 2,
We arrived in Italy the next day. And guess what? We couldn't get on a train because they were all full.
3,
Our journey took over 60 hours. And it cost lots of money too.
oh, you poor thing.
Okay, remember, what are the 3 expressions that are frequently used in the audio? Really? That is the expression, really? It's true? Guess what? Adivina qué, guess what? You, poor thing, uy, pobrecito, qué pena. You, poor thing. Guess what? And really, it's serious? Those are the expressions that we are using in this section, okay? That we are focusing in this. Finally, we have the activity number 7. And obviously, we have the pictures. Attention to the activity number 7. Look at the pictures. What do you think happens? What do you think happens in the end? Imagine you are the person and write a description of your nightmare journey. What you are going to do here in your book? You are going to write the story using simple past tense, okay? And you're going to write the story using the simple past tense and the pictures, okay? You are going to write that in your book. You are going to write that in your student book, okay? You are going to write and you are going to use these pictures. Be so creative and you are going to work on this, okay? Conclusión de todo esto. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? La actividad que nosotros tenemos a continuación, le voy a explicar hasta en español para que quede claro. La página 43, donde hemos trabajado los audios, usted tiene que completar la página 43 de lo que hemos revisado el día de hoy. Toda la actividad de la página 43, 1, 2, 3 y el número 7, usted la va a trabajar en su libro. La próxima clase la vamos a revisar y la próxima clase trabajaremos en una presentación en línea con la actividad que les voy a poner. Vuelvo a repetir, la página 43 la van a trabajar en su libro, solo en su libro. ¿Estamos claros? Perfecto. Pero, ¿qué pasa con las otras actividades? La actividad número 8. Ahora sí me atiende. En la presentación en línea, en el PPT, que ustedes tienen el enlace, que es el enlace de siempre con el cual trabajamos, pero igual se los voy a proporcionar, se los voy a mandar por Educalink para aquel que obviamente lo perdió o no se acuerda. En esa presentación en línea va a trabajar en la página 42, en la actividad número 8, que la tiene usted aquí, y en la actividad de la página 41, la actividad 13. Eso usted lo va a trabajar en la presentación en línea que usted tiene. Tiene la actividad 1 y tiene la actividad número 2. Ojo, mire las actividades que tiene que trabajarlas aquí. Cuidado, se confunde. Como extra practice, as an extra practice, you are going to have some links. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You are going to access to these links and you are going to practice the simple past. And you are going to copy and paste the final score and the final process of the activity. Dentro de esta presentación en línea que va a hacer, le estoy colocando 6 links de práctica, son cortitas, sobre el past simple. Usted, aquí le pongo un ejemplo, ya lo hemos trabajado, usted ya lo ha hecho, ¿verdad? Voy a poner uno. Voy a poner un ejemplo. Usted ya sabe, porque nosotros lo hemos trabajado con ustedes en clase y también han hecho estas actividades, ¿verdad? Usted va a trabajar en línea. You are going to read and you are going to complete the information. Did you see? You are going to complete the information. You are going to finish and you are going to copy and paste. Me va a copiar el ejercicio que usted está trabajando como evidencia y el final score como evidencia, ¿verdad? Y usted eso copia y pega dentro de la presentación en línea. Recuerde, si usted necesita 2 o 3 hojitas, con que usted ponga el nombre en cada una de sus hojitas seguidas, no hay problema. Tenemos entonces la actividad 1, 2 y 3, ¿verdad? Que son las 6 worksheets que tienen ustedes que trabajar. Así que tenemos bastante material. Ya hemos revisado. Así que, por favor, aproveche el tiempo que tiene el día de mañana, ya que no va a tener clases conmigo, vista que el personal de inglés estamos dentro de una capacitación, justamente preparándonos, capacitándonos para darles a usted una mejor clase día a día, ¿verdad? Son unas jornadas de seminarios en los cuales todos estamos obligados a asistir. Entonces, tienen trabajo para esta semana, para las 2 horas de clases sincrónicas. Adicional, tienen el trabajo de la plataforma de Richmond, donde ustedes tienen que trabajar. ¿Ok? Así que, por favor, recuerden que está puesta para el alfa, ¿verdad? Las mismas actividades tenemos para el alfa, para el bravo y para el Charlie. ¿Ok? Listo. Me despido de ustedes, recordándoles que ya el 6 de diciembre, próximamente, nos volveremos a ver. Ya tenga listo todo. Complete la actividad. Como le he dicho las 2 semanas anteriores, esas presentaciones en línea tiene que completarlas. Si no lo ha completado, aprovéchelas, porque son parte también de la calificación. Recuerde que ya nos vamos a volver a ver y vamos a tener más horas de trabajo. Lo 2, recuerde que tiene que tener sus libros completos, el Student Book y el Workbook, el físico, porque usted trabaja en mis clases dentro del Workbook físico y dentro del Student Book físico. La plataforma de Richmond, por favor, es obligación. En clases sincrónicas y asincrónicas y cuando volvamos a presenciales, vamos a continuar trabajando con la plataforma. Vamos a continuar trabajando con la plataforma. Dentro de la plataforma usted tiene el Class Material, que es su obligación trabajar los 2 libros del Class Materials. Eso no ha cambiado ni cambiará. Continuaremos trabajando de forma presencial con estos materiales. Con mucho asombro veo estudiantes que no están trabajando, que no están completando. Y ojo, el 6 de diciembre, antes del 6 de diciembre, sería esta semana, ya terminamos el primer parcial del segundo quimestre. No pierda la oportunidad, no pierda puntaje de manera innecesaria, ¿ok? Listo, en Educalink van a recibir la información que acaba de completarse en este momento. Así que nos vemos la siguiente clase, nos vamos a ver y espero que tengamos todo el día. Recuerde que finalizó este fin de semana el tiempo límite para que suba su video en Favorite de las dos de la clase anterior. 2 semanas tuvieron para trabajarlas y obviamente pues ya tienen información. Listo, chicos. Ha sido un gusto verlos. Nice to see you. Remember that we love you and take care. Okay? Bye, baby. See ya.